Welcome back to part 2 of the web show. The PG show. It's me and you, buddy.
Especially me.
Especially you. Awesome Transmogs again. Every week they're getting really good.
We were just talking about it, weren't we? Really good week.
They're getting stupidly good.
Really good week for it.
They are getting stupidly good. Well, that was awesome. Thank you to everyone who submitted. Again, if you want to enter your Transmog, you do it on preachgaming.com in the forums called Transmog. There is a thread there called Transmog Competition. That's where you do it. That's where you do it, okay? Easy, 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 easy. Now, talking of Transmogs, nice segue, thanks. We're filming Way of the Warrior 2, obviously, and there's a couple of characters in there that we would like you to design, because obviously we're getting really good Transmogs, lots of good feedback from all of you, and we're going to give away some prizes for this as well. And also, it's a nice nod to you guys helping us out with Way of the Warrior 2. The character we wish you to design for us, and we'll look at them in the next web show, is a Dwarven General who is battle-hardened. His name is Reinhardt. Okay, now the theme we're going for is he has to be a dwarf male. You can use some sort of like model viewer or whatever. You don't have to change your class or anything like that.
But the rules of the Transmog competition don't apply.
No, they don't apply. All we're looking for somebody who looks visually battle-hardened, very mean. Okay, to look at him, you would fear him. Okay, that is the character we are going for. He has to be a dwarf male. Okay, that's all we're looking for, is somebody who looks like a very seasoned veteran of war. We're not going to do any more than that. We want your creativity to be a big part of this. Possibly you'll come up with ideas that we wouldn't think of. So that is what we're going to be doing for next week. So it's a little task for you guys. If it works out well, there'll be more characters and stuff that we'll want to throw your way to see if you can get them involved. Okay.
So what class is there a specific class?
Doesn't need to be a specific class or anything like that. It is more the visual look. Try and think of Way of the Warrior 2 like a mini-series, like a television mini-series. The class is really irrelevant. Doesn't matter. We're going for the theme of the character. So he looks as we want him to be. When he appears on the screen, he looks very nasty, very mean, and that's what we want. Cool. We can do the rest after that, okay? We just want that look of that character. He's called Reinhardt, General Reinhardt, whatever you want to be, Captain Reinhardt.
Items must also be obtainable.
Yeah, we need to be able to get the things, okay? Because we're going to have to recreate them. But that is what we're really, really after. So big contributions towards that. Go, have fun with it. Do whatever you want to do. Whatever you're thinking in your head. We want to see what you guys come up with. You might change, you know, give us a complete different idea of what we suspect he might look like. So that's what we're after. We're also going to be doing stuff like the General Army as well. But that'll be sort of next week's, or in 2 weeks, next web show. That will be what we'll be looking at then. So you can start thinking about that as well. So it can be anything you want, as long as we can get it. As long as it's obtainable in game. So no corrupted Ashbringers, or anything that's been removed, or anything like that. You can use any way you want to show it. Entirely up to you. You do not have to have a Dwarven female, Dwarven male. Can you Mog it? Can you actually change the race of your character?
Change race, change sex,
so,
everything.
There you go. So if you want to use Mog it allows you to pick a race without you doing anything, and pick any item in game. So that's the best way of doing it, is to install the add-on Mog it and do it from there. Look forward to it.
If it's quite because of the class as well, because it's quite haunched down as well, try and include if you're using pieces like say like using a big two-hander, but you're looking face on, we can't see it. Just give us 2 shots as well, just like variations of it. You know, like let's say two screenshots, like 45-degree profile, 45-degree profile.
And please, a list of items.
Yeah, that would help a lot.
A list of items would be very helpful, but of course we can contact the winner if you forget to do that. We're not trying to overburden you. Just want you to have fun with it. Design a character that when you visually see him, you go, that kind of looks like a badass, and I don't want to fuck with him. Somebody who's very mean, doesn't take shit from anybody, and gets the job done is what we're looking for. What we're really looking for.
Cool.
Okay, so that's what I want to say. I think that's pretty good.
Well done, mate.
Okay, my head is pounding quite badly, but we should be fine.
We're just going to power through, mate.
Well, we're not going to rush. We're going to take our time.
We're going to rush.
A few things to talk about. Okay, I've got some things I want to talk about. Stories. I want to talk about stories, okay? Oh, we haven't done the Brofists yet. Let's do this quickly.
Holy bejesus.
Now,
we haven't got the blue tack, have we?
We haven't got the blue tack, so we can't stick them up today, but I will have it done by next web show, so don't worry about that.
So let's split them 50-50.
Okay, you can have those.
Thank you.
And I'll start.
Let me have a look at mine before I... Right. You've dropped one, by the way.
Pass me.
And I don't mean a fart, I mean an actual trans.
I didn't mean to. Okay, first one is Joshua, rocking from Kansas, who went with a pipe. Like a proper Lord of the Rings
How did I not?
pipe.
That is.
Look at that.
Is that old Tom?
That is fucking
best pipe
gangster.
in the land.
Absolutely gangster.
Ask him. Is it old Tom? Ask him.
Is it old Tom?
Is it old Tom?
Go on, you.
Okay, next I'm going to go with this young gentleman here, which is Kaysen from Australia. I'm looking at his attire. He's very suited and booted. And he's got a textbook, what looks like a little black onyx ring on the Brofist. Let's have a look. That's Kaysen from Australia. Very dapper, sir, and I like it.
I like that a lot, actually.
Well done, mate.
Next one was Arnie, or Arn, I don't know what to say, from Finland. So Nordic, it hurts the face.
Really? I can't see. Pull back a bit. That is outlandishly Nordic.
Isn't it? You, my friend, are
Nordic.
a Viking in the making, and I appreciate it.
Well done, mate. Oh, I've got a tandem Brofist. Don't know the other guy, but this is Casper from Denmark. They are overjoyed to deliver this Brofist. Look at the exhilaration and happiness on them faces.
It's a double Brofist.
It's a double Brofist. They are ecstatic to be delivering that awesome sign of justice.
Right. That's what it was. Rallis from Tennessee. Whiskey country, my
Tennessee,
friend.
mate.
Tennessee.
From Whiskey Land.
Whiskey country.
Nice.
Whiskey country. Boom. Straight up. Watching us in the background.
Pull back a touch.
Dropping that Brofist.
Okay, now slowly move forward. Like it. Well done, mate.
Nice.
Okay, next I've got... Holy Jesus Christ. That is a massive cat. This is William from Perth. I know it's some sort of like famous cat thing. I don't know what it is, but regardless, he's a huge, great big fucking cat with a Brofist. Check it.
I love that. I love them ones like that. It's so awesome.
That's so cool.
Now, next one is Kieran from nowhere. You going in the maelstrom, son. You better sort it out.
You wait till we get that blue tack.
Kieran.
Up. There he goes.
Where you from, son?
Oh, is he young?
He's a youngster.
He looks like a youngster.
He's a youngster who done goofed. I take it back. I goofed. It says Australia on the front. From Australia, it's Kieran. I've just read it actually in the micro's font. Look how little it is. See it? He's an Aussie.
Okay, last one for me. Holy but Jesus Christ. I don't even care that he's from nowhere. What can only assume is underneath his armour there's a Brofist, but over the top of that Brofist is a very distinctive armour, which is awesome. This is Hampus from nowhere.
Hampus sounds Nordic too.
It does, it does. But check that out. Underneath that Brofist, underneath that, over the top, sorry, is a Predator mask. Win.
Win.
That's win.
Okay, I got two. Now this one's from nowhere as well. Remember, please state where you're from. It helps us put you on the map.
It helps us put you on the map in a different part of the world, but it still helps us.
He's got a killer ring. It's Caleb. Look at that ring.
I can't see
it. Oh, you can't see it really. It's a skull ring with big black eyes of death.
Look, he's biting that bottom lip, mate.
He's biting it like, look at my ring. I want to fuck it. And our last one is Big Greg from the UK, who is rocking that Preach Gaming hoodie. Oh yeah. Where's your computer though? That door is going to hit you in the face.
Doesn't matter though.
That is an accident waiting to happen.
You've not seen what armour he's wearing. That door's going to shatter when it hits his back.
All the Preach Gaming hoodie ones, they're going on the big wall.
The big wall.
The big wall. Thank you to everybody who sent us Brofists. We'll get them on the
mate.
wall as soon as we get some more blue tack. First world problems, no blue tack. Right, I'm going to jump into this. I was angry last week.
I was hoping that you'd start with this right now.
I was angry last week for a couple of reasons.
Let me just grab my two essentials for actually listening and absorbing this story. I need the glasses because I need to see your face. I need the pipe.
It was Ben's birthday last week.
Okay.
Ben turned 1. Ben, as you may remember, because we showed Ben the first day we got him, he had a web show.
He did
on the day he arrived into our lives. And he was 4 weeks of age.
And he wasn't very well either.
He nearly died twice in that week. Nearly died twice. It cost me a lot of money.
It did.
It did. It cost me a little bit of savings to keep Ben alive. But it was his birthday. So I got him £5, 5 squidlers, piece of steak.
That's textbook.
I got him a piece of steak and I cooked it up for him real nice.
Yeah.
And then I washed it off so it was all cool.
Yeah.
And then I gave it to him for his birthday. That was his birthday dinner, was a piece of steak.
That's nice, mate.
Someone sent me, because I mentioned it on the web show, on the Daily, that I got Ben a piece of steak for his birthday. Someone sent me the twattiest fucking email in history. Now, I get a lot of emails. I think I get something like 50 a day. This email went straight to the Africa card.
Wait.
Straight for it.
As in, there are children starving, you're giving your dog a steak. Please tell me it's not.
It was. It went straight to the fucking Africa card. And I got this email and it was like, it was basically like, you were a piece of shit was the title. And I was like, what? Open it, it was like, how dare you feed your dog a piece of steak, blah, 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 blah. And I was like actually infuriated by this email. This fucking email this guy sent me. And I was like, I have to reply to this. And I was like, I'll have you know, right? My dog is the hardest working member of my family. You know why? He fucking protects my house 24 hours a day, 7 days a week without fail. Emma sleeps better because we have a dog. She openly says that. It's like, since I know Ben's downstairs, I sleep much better. I sleep better. And you know what he wants? He wants a walk. And he wants to be fed shit dry nuggets every day. And once a year he gets a £5 piece of steak. And I'm a dick. And I'm a piece of shit for that. I was like, you fucking asshole, man. What is wrong with people? It was disgusting. Fucking disgusting to be sent something like that. Some people's priorities are so fucked. So fucked. £5. What's that? Like, it's $8, $9?
Right. Do you know what?
Once a year.
This is a sort of cunt, and I shouldn't use that word too often, but there's no other word to describe it, who probably does, even though, like, he shouldn't anyway, sends it to celebrities who've just bought a £4 million Bugatti Veyron. Oh, there's people starving in Africa. Yeah, we appreciate that. This is the business. This is what I earn. This is what I give to charity. This is what I buy myself. But your dog has just been given a £5 steak on the grand scheme of things, of like what you just said, which actually should clarify the whole thing. He does so much and asks back so little.
He asks nothing.
Do you know what I mean?
He asks for nothing. I work all day.
And
he stays downstairs and he mans the fucking door. People
Exactly.
know when people come to my door. My house is the safest place in this fucking city because of that dog. And I am happy to fucking give him a steak once a year. And just to read that, I was like, you're so fucking mixed up, man.
Do you know what's,
really
do you know what's
pissed me
funny?
off.
Do you know what's funny is this person has sent you an email complaining about this, but where did he find the money to buy a computer and an internet connection
it was so
to send you
stupid.
this email?
It was so
when there's that
fucking
many people
stupid.
starving up. What's going to buy more food? A fucking £5 note that you got a steak for your dog, or the amount of money that this person spent on a computer and internet connection to send
It's
you
just
that
so deluded.
cunt-worthy email?
It just makes it wasn't even like
Fucking-
the fact they sent it. It was more like, how mixed up are you to send me that kind of shit?
I'd love to
Really?
see this guy dead.
Well, it was fucking retarded.
People like that, that's where their morals are. You know, it's like it's sort of like fanaticism. Quality. That is mint. That is so funny, and I appreciate that.
We just got a £5 donation from Red, and I can't read the note because obviously it's on my phone and my head's hurting. But thank you, Red, and I'm sure it says something like that's for fucking Ben. And you're a
well
baller.
done, mate.
Well,
That's genius. Do you know what? I like the fact that, I mean, look at the chat now. Everyone is in the same sort of boat, but this high horse prick, you've got.
Well, let's not dwell on it, but it just to know that people like that
But I know,
exist.
it's
Fucking
not
makes
just
me
that
sick,
though.
don't
It's
it?
like the high and mighty thing, but when you turn the fucking spotlight back on them, how do you get to work? Probably a car. I don't have a car, probably public transport. There's no fucking way that your fat ass is using a bike because you're so high and mighty. Do you know, it's shit like that. It's like, oh, but it's necessity. No, it's not. On the grand scheme of things, it was £5 to treat your dog who's had a rough start in life.
Ben's hardcore, man.
£5. You know, fuck people like that. I'd love
sad,
to be
isn't it?
the law
It's
because
really
I
sad.
kill people like
It's
that.
really sad. It is
Jesus
really sad.
Christ.
I don't think it also made me think when I was writing it back, when I was replying, I was like, I don't think people appreciate exactly what dogs do and how little they ask for it, really.
Exactly.
Just some attention, and yeah, sometimes it pisses me off. But fuck me.
fucking steak.
My house, I am like Loch Ness. Not Loch Ness, like Fort fucking Knox, man.
I have
If
like
Fort
Loch
Knox
Ness.
If Fort Knox had Ben, they'd be fucking fine. But anyway, congratulations to Ben, though.
Yeah, congratulations, Ben, mate. Well done. Do you know what I mean? It was a shaky start, but you've got a family who fucking loves you, buys you a steak on your birthday, and you're a full, healthy, trained dog.
Can I tell you the story of the steak, though?
Just one sec. Before you do,
you still ranting?
the last part of my rant is this, and the computer thing was a direct link to the cunt who sent. I need to stop saying that word now. I've said it quite a few times, but it's just got me riled up. But look at these celebrity arseholes who will buy their dog a £50,000 diamond-encrusted necklace. On the grand scheme of things, that probably could have bought a few more meals for Africa.
Did you ever hear the
Not
story of
£5
Gwyneth
steak.
Paltrow?
Knobhead.
Do you know the Gwyneth Paltrow thing about
No.
chocolate muffins?
No.
Gwyneth Paltrow, right? You obviously know who she is from Iron Man, yeah? Duh. Yeah, Pepper Potts. She released a cookbook that was supposed to be friendly for everybody. One of the recipes in the cookbook was chocolate buns.
Right.
The ingredients per bun totaled something like $58 per bun. It was her socially acceptable cookbook by Gwyneth Paltrow. I'm sure it's something like that. I could be wrong. Don't blame me if I'm wrong, but it was ridiculous. Per bun, they were like chocolate that came from some mine in Africa somewhere, or like Bermuda, and like the cocoa beans were like hand scrubbed by some people in the middle of fucking China. It was these ingredients that nobody in the whole, besides her, the top A-list people, could possibly get hold of. It's fucking crazy. It's absolutely bizarre. But that's it. Shit like that goes on, and I'm fucking getting these hate mails for £5 for my dog. Fuck you. Ben enjoyed it. Okay, let me tell you the story of the steak though. Let me pick this back up. So I cooked the steak, right? I cooked it up in the pan, and then I grilled it so it wasn't too fatty. Emma was like, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, he's going to have a proper steak. My boy's having a steak. If I'm making a mistake, he's making a mistake. So I cut it up into really tiny pieces, obviously, so you didn't choke on it or anything. Then I washed it off, so it was cool. It was all cooked through. It was no red in it or anything like that. I put it in his bowl. So Ben walks up to it, and he goes... and he literally looked at his bowl, and then he looked at me and Emma, because we were like at the side like this.
Yeah.
I should have filmed it, really, but I was kind of excited to see his reaction. So we're leaning against the side while he looks at it.
The fuck's this?
Yeah.
Am I going to the vet or something?
Yeah, he was looking at it. He goes... And he's looking at it, and then he grabbed one piece, and then he slowly lifted his head, and he dropped it on the floor like, am I going to get twatted in a minute? Is this a trick? And then he just looked at it, and he went... and he picked it up again, and he's looking at me all the time, and he goes...
I'm still not getting in trouble.
Yeah, I'm not getting in trouble for this. And then he went...
That was awesome. I'm going in.
He fucking pile drived into his bowl, and he was like... and then after he ate it in 10 seconds, like a whole steak, he just went... He's licking the bowl like this. He's licking every fucking surface that this steak has touched, and then he's like... He starts sniffing the floor like as if he's dropped somewhere. He's like, there must be more steak. And then I was laughing and watching him doing it, and then he came and he just sat in front of me with his tail wagging.
Yeah.
And he's like, is there more steak? There must be more of it. It was the
I don't know if you know this.
It was the slow pickup. Like, I've never had this before. It smells amazing. But he picked it up and he dropped it just to look at us and go, you're really not going to hit me for eating this? Because Ben's trained
really
not to go near
quickly.
food.
When he says £5 steak, he doesn't mean 5 LBS pounds.
Oh, not weight.
Pounds.
5 English pounds.
5
UK.
sovereign pounds.
Yeah, 5 English pounds. Okay,
Someone's
pounds sterling.
Someone's just put, dude, how long did it take you to cook a £5 steak?
I didn't have a £5 steak. It wasn't man versus dog. Or dog versus food, I should say. It wasn't dog versus food. No, 5 English pounds, like $10 or $11 worth of steak. That's what it was. It wasn't the prime cut fucking ribeye or whatever, or fillet steak or anything like that. It was just a sirloin piece. Yeah, but he picked it up, he put it down. He was like, "This is bullshit. Whatever's going on now is fucking not legit."
Don't even think of putting them biscuits back in there.
Yeah, no. Then he got some biscuits later. He looked at him and he went. All
right,
cutest thing.
I'm gonna
ever.
wait for the steak.
Now, can I tell you a really sad story? Can I sadden it up for a little minute?
You've just put us on high. I've had a really good rant. I've had a really good story, and now you're gonna...
I'm really going to upset you now, because everyone in the chat is really going to empathise with this situation. Or maybe not empathise, but go, that is the saddest thing I've ever heard. Because I have heard some sad shit in my time. The sight that I have seen in the past week is the saddest thing I've ever seen. Are you ready?
No. I'm really not ready.
Okay. Emma's father is nearly 60, I want to say. Emma's father's been a gamer all his life.
Okay.
But Emma's father doesn't have a lot of money, right? He's supporting his wife and 2 kids who've both got kids.
Right.
On his own, okay? They're like working occasionally, but, he's basically the breadwinner for the whole family, okay?
Yeah.
So, for the longest time, all he had...
Emma just sent a picture of the steak to me.
Yeah. Oh, she's awake. Okay, so, for the longest time, the only contact... He used to make his own games. He used to be a games designer when he was in his 20s, okay? So he knew what he was doing with like a Commodore and an Atari.
Yeah.
But for the longest time, the only access he's had to games is through an offline PlayStation 3. That's all he's had. He got one for Christmas about 5 years ago, and that's all he's had for like 5 years or however long the PlayStation 3's been out. So he can't really buy games. So instead of buying Skyrim, he bought things like Hunter Man and shit like that. So it was like Skyrim minus graphics,
quality,
and gameplay and shit like that. Now, I bought him Skyrim for his birthday last year.
What, did he buy it on console?
Yeah, for the PS3.
Oh, thank God.
I bought him Skyrim for the. He's got a PC. It's not connected to the internet, and it's Emma's 11-year-old HP pre-bought system that she got from Comet or fucking whichever computer shop you go to.
Struggles running Microsoft Word.
It can't play Warcraft. It couldn't play Warcraft 10 years ago or 8 years ago, whenever we got it. It couldn't play vanilla Warcraft. So he loves Sky. I bought him Skyrim. He was hooked. In fact, Emma's mum called me a douche for buying him Skyrim because he was on it all the time. He'd never had a HDMI cable. Now, I've got a shitload of cables, obviously, that we collect through what we do. So I said, I've got a spare HDMI lead if you want it. And he's got a little TV, smaller than our monitors, that he plays it on, okay? And he's like, oh, yeah, he never asks for anything. Never asks. You know, he doesn't want you to go out of the way.
Humble guy, nice guy.
Very humble. He wouldn't ask you. But I was like, no, I've got one. Okay, so I went and it took me, I was a dick. It took me like 2 weeks to get it to him because every time Emma went to her mother's, it was when she came back from the farm and it hadn't been pre-planned. So eventually I just stuck the HDMI lead in her car and I said, look, it's there. Next time you go, just give it him. Emma's dad has 250 hours played on Skyrim. When he got the HDMI lead, he was so impressed with the graphical change that he deleted his save file and started completely again. This is the kind of guy we're talking about. And then he started completely again on Skyrim. Anyway, a few weeks ago, this is the kind of guy we're talking about. This guy, he doesn't use mounts, by the way, horses or anything like that. He walks. Doesn't use fast travel. This is how much he can't afford other games, so he gets to get the most out of it. In Skyrim, he walks. He doesn't mount. Doesn't use quick travel. He walks wherever he needs to go. So he got internet. He got internet a few weeks ago, and it's broadband, or so I was told. So he phoned me and he said, I'm getting internet. How will I get it in my gaming room, which is also his bedroom? And it's because it's hooked up in the front room. And I was like, well, you just need a lead. He's like, well, I gave him a wireless card a while ago to get into somebody else's internet, but it's not the best, as you know, wireless cards in a PC. So he was like, well, I could just use the wireless card, right? I was like, no, I'll get you a cable. I'll do this. I have tons of network leads because we've done LANs downstairs. We've done all sorts of stuff. I've got lots and lots of network leads, so don't worry about it. I'll sort it out. So I got him a nice lead. I came round on the day of his internet, and he was like, no, I've got it working on wireless. Don't hassle yourself. Again, won't ask for anything. Don't hassle yourself. Don't hassle yourself. It's fine, Mike. It's fine. It's like, okay, let's go to speedtest.net. He bought brand new broadband. Was paying more than I pay for mine every month. Don't know why. And it wasn't fibre optic or anything like that. Those people in bad internet are going to go, you piece of shit, because I'm going to mock them now. But he had 0.6 download and worse upload. It was terrible for broadband, right?
You get that on a mobile phone these days.
Yeah, exactly. 0.6 download. Because he was going through a wireless card to his hub. So I was like, watch this, okay? I showed him the speed test. But he didn't understand internet speeds. So I plugged in the fucking cable and ran it just quickly. I didn't pin it in yet. I just ran it through into the room, plugged it in, and then he got 4.2 or something. Still really bad.
Well, obviously a
vast improvement. 8 times faster, do you know what I mean? But still really fucking bad. This is what he was paying for per month. I mean, I get 45 to 50, and I pay less. But I get the fibre optic, which they haven't got there, apparently. Okay. Now he's on the internet. Doesn't understand it. I said, do you want me to plug in your PlayStation 3? He said, no, I don't want to update it. And I was like, why? Have you got some sort of chip in it or anything? He's like, no, I don't like it when they install things. I don't know what it's doing. I'm like, well, it's an update for your PS3. He's very like... He's like that. He doesn't want to update it. He asked me this question. Just to give you an example. Sometimes when I go on websites, it's all in Chinese. And then other times I go on, it's all in complete Russian. And I was like, maybe you got a virus. Like, well, it's on a PlayStation. I was like, I've never really heard of viruses on a PlayStation, but maybe. You know what it was? He changed all his system clocks to different times to stop getting warnings about updates, including on his PC. Changed all the system clocks. So, I don't know. And I'm listening to this, I'm like, really? You did that? And I was like, oh, okay, whatever. So he got a PC. First thing I did, because he's a musician or ex-musician, he plays a guitar and all that kind of stuff, is I got him Spotify. This guy has a 250 meg hard drive in his PC. Yeah. 201 megs of it is music. So I'm like, all right, I want to show you this program. It's called Spotify. I'm going to pay for it for you. And I mean, it's all neatly organized and all that kind of stuff. So I installed Spotify and I was like, right. And then he tries to push me because he's like nearly 60 years old. So he starts picking bands from the 60s, bands from the 70s when they played some obscure fucking club in the middle of nowhere live. Spotify won everything. It was like, oh yeah, it's got that. And then he went, oh, it's got that other album that I haven't been able to get. And I'm like, yeah, it has. So I was like, this is how we do music now. It's like, where's it saving it? I'm like, so it doesn't save it, it just streams it from the internet. What's streaming? I'm like, I'm trying to explain to it. It just pulls it from their servers. They have all the songs, or whatever, and it just plays them for you. So I don't get to keep it? I'm like, yeah, because you have Spotify. You listen to all your music through the PC anyway. This is how it works. It's just an interface. And he's trying to use big words. Words like that. I mean, he's not stupid, but he's very out of date. Then he came to my house for Mother's Day. This is where I fucked up badly, and this is what created the saddest sight in the universe. He wants to come upstairs and look in here, obviously. And he comes in and he's like, wow, this room is amazing. He's like, does this plug into that? You've got wires everywhere. I'm like, yeah, all the TV and this on all the consoles, they all plug into this PC. We've got another PC over there doing that. He's like, wow, this is like amazing. He's like, how much hard drive space have you got? Like 500 meg? And I'm like, well, no, I've got like 5 terabytes in that one. He went, and he was like, really like shocked and awed. I showed him Steam.
Oh no.
Yeah. I was like, this is what you kind of need next, because I'm trying to bring him into the real world. So I said, this is what you need to download when you get home, because this is how we get games now. We don't buy them from shops anymore, really. And he's like, how do you get them then? I was like, right, you get a Steam account. I'll set it up for you here. This is Steam. I went on the library, said they have sales, because he hasn't got a lot of money, where you can get decent games really, really cheap. And I'm showing him Steam. Now, I was cooking dinner for Mother's Day. So I said, look, I've got to jump in the shower. I just cooked everything. I cooked on Mother's Day. I was really ill then as well, actually. I just cooked for Mother's Day. So I was like, I've got to jump in the shower, Ian. That's his name. I'll be back in a few minutes. So I jumped in the shower, come back. He's still on Steam, and he's browsing. And Emma's brother has a 3-year-old son, and he loves the PC. Zoo Tycoon. He has the PC. He plays it constantly. Like, wakes up early to go and play Zoo Tycoon. And he's looking for games like Battleships, kids games that you can play with William. He absolutely fucking loves it. So he's looking, he's like, this game's really good, this game's really good, and this one's free-to-play games. I introduced him to the idea of free-to-play games. He's like, these are free? I'm like, yeah, all those are free-to-play games. They usually have microtransactions, but you won't need to care about that. You can still play the game. So he's like, I'll get this as soon as I get home. How do I get it? I was like, well, let's make you an account. Made him one there. So all you need to do is go home, open the internet, type Steam, and you'll be able to download it really quickly and just log in with these details. Wrote them on a piece of paper. Cut to 2 days later, this week. And this is what happens. Emma comes home and she tells me, I've just been to my dad's. His PC won't play a single game from Steam. He's downloaded lots. What he's been doing for the last 2 days is watching the trailers over and over again.
Is it of the games that you can't play? Oh.
He's just been sat. Man. He's been sat looking at the screen, just playing the trailers for the games for 2 days. And none of them work. And he said something, and then Emma said to me, before I realised this was the case, she said that's the thing. It was about 8 PM, and I was knackered, but I was like, sounds really bad. So she said, well, he thinks Steam updates or something on a Wednesday. So like, Steam doesn't do that.
No, it doesn't.
Steam doesn't do that. So he's like, well, that's why the games aren't working, apparently. Steam's doing an update. I was like, that doesn't sound right. I wonder if there's something wrong with the PC. Surely it can't be that bad, because I wanted to send him Faster Than Light.
Right.
Which is like an 8-bit game, you know what I mean? It's built on these 8-bit engines, and it needs nothing to run these kind of games. These little indie games, I thought I could send him these games. I have free copies of them that I get from time to time. I could send him some of these so he can play these new games. So he said Steam's updating, that's why none of the games are working. I'm like, surely it can play things like fucking Faster Than Light. He's probably looking at maybe Skyrim. Skyrim isn't going to work. He's looking at big fucking games. I mean, he's got a 12-inch monitor. So I said, can we go and see him? I said, I cannot sit here with this possible guy sat there watching trailers over and over again if there's something wrong with his Steam. So she's like, you really want to go and see him? I was like, yeah, we have to go and see him. So I drove, we got in the car, we drove to his house. It was getting on for like 9:30. I came in, and it's not Steam that's updated. That wasn't updating. It was a free-to-play MMO, like Perfect World probably, or some Facebook game that wouldn't run, and that was updating on the Wednesday, and it was true. I checked through the settings. He had something like he's got 2 meg of RAM in that machine.
It can't be 2 meg.
Something like that, yeah. It's ridiculous. 2 meg of RAM and 250 meg hard drive. The processor is just like Intel processor. Something like that. And I was just sat there, and there was nothing I could do. And I've never felt so helpless. And like, I've opened this Pandora's box of games, and he can't play any of them. And I was like, for your birthday in July, I'm going to fix this. I will upgrade it to the stage. Than me. It was the saddest thing I've ever seen, man. It's just
scumbag preach.
I've never felt so fucking bad. I could not imagine that a PC would be that bad. I can't imagine that we used to live that way. But then I think about it, and it's like we totally used to live on those kind of things. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't get anything to run. I downloaded quite a few cheesy shit games. I think I got Binding of Isaac for him, which was 99 cents or something, or £1. which is just the whole controller game doesn't work. And I'm like, oh, this is horrible. This is absolutely horrible. But that's what I've done, man. That's my fucking mission now by July, to just upgrade it enough to play WoW. Because I was like, I can bring him into WoW, stick him in Stark, and he can just go in his own world. He won't. If you imagine he's got 250 hours in Skyrim, hasn't finished.
Yeah.
How long will he be in the Thousand Needles on his boat?
Get him in Stark.
How long will he be there? Well, it won't be till July or something. Jesus Christ.
I'm not going to dwell on it, but let's just put a direct comparison from those last two stories, okay?
All right.
Now, you've got, on one side, this uppity, self-righteous, pompous prick who sends you an email about, I cannot believe you wasted £5 on a dog, which is as much as a scumbag in itself as the email that you sent. On the other end of the spectrum, faith in human... The kind of guy that, I've met him as dad a few times, but just based on his personality, sounds like the nicest fucking guy in the world.
He's absolutely brilliant.
Do you know what I mean, though? The contrast in those two different types of people. Wouldn't say boo to a ghost, thankful for everything, appreciates everything that you do. Some twat who sends you an email for spending £5 on your dog's birthday.
Oh, yeah, I mean, he's not got a penny to his name, he really hasn't, but...
It's mad, isn't it?
It's crazy, it's just so to know mad. That... I mean... You don't believe it. He just wanted to show me when I was round looking at the PC and I was trying to get some games working. He loaded up Skyrim. He's like, "You've got to watch this, Mike." And he just stood at the top of a waterfall and just jumped in. And no matter how much optimized PS3 looks compared to what we run, it just looks dog shit. You guys know this. A console just looks dog shit next to a top end PC.
I'm not going to go into it too much about their game because I didn't really rate it. But yeah, I bought Metal Gear Rising because it's got the words Metal Gear.
Should we get into that shortly?
We should do.
Yeah.
But just going back into that game from a PC game. I mean, my TV's full HD, 1080p. It's even got a motion processor which stops motion blur and everything like that. Really good TV. Best I can get to play a game on. And just the direct comparison from pulling myself off PC for 2 years that I've been back on it now. It's so bad.
It's retarded, isn't it?
It's
absolutely
bad,
retarded. And unless the gameplay is amazing, I can't even look at it. Like I played on Friday, live stream Friday. I'm never letting you guys ever vote for games again. That was a bad idea. Or maybe I could tweak the list to make sure I get to play what I want to play. But for live stream Friday, which is when I take a day off from playing WoW constantly, because obviously I have to play it quite a lot. I just play some game that I've always wanted to play. And it's kind of a rule I've put on myself, is that I got into this job, one, because I love games. I want to talk about them. I want to make videos about them. I want to do anything and everything involved with games. It's the favourite thing in my world. I want to do that. But I got into this trap of, I was so busy doing other stuff that I never set aside time to actually play games. And it got to the stage where I was just never playing games. I was logging into WoW to film a video, then logging out and doing loads of editing, which is good to start a job. But there's also no opportunity there to just play a game. So I was like, right, I need to set aside a day a week just to play a game. So I might as well live stream it, talk to the guys at the same time. And I've still not quite got the hang of streaming a new game and talking to the chat. I'll get there. So I put the list on Facebook and I was like, Genji got Bioshock Infinite, which I don't think he's finished yet. I know Delore has. It looks amazing, by the way.
I caught
Bioshock
Infinite
looks fantastic.
Just for 5 minutes, because he was streaming before I was doing my Transmog on Wednesday or Thursday. But I brought the stream up because I always edit the details like half an hour before I put the pre-stream up. I saw him streaming. I just ended up sitting there watching it for quite a while. It looked really
it looks
good.
Fucking amazing. It looks so good. That I was like, and Genji Skyped me because we're going to be playing. Oh, we're going to talk about that shortly. We've got loads to talk about tonight. I hope my headache goes away because it's throbbing like a fucker. But Genji said, "Oh, I got a free copy of Bioshock 1 and something else when I bought Bioshock Infinite." It's like, look, you have it, right? I'm like, you know what? I have never played Bioshock 1. Ever. So, no, I don't have it. And he's like, oh, well, I'll gift it you on Steam. And he's like, oh, I'll just send it you then. It's cool. So I got Bioshock. So I made the list. I was like, I want to play Bioshock. I also have Heavy Rain. We need a PS2 so badly. If anybody has a cheap PS2 and you're in the UK, let me know.
Did they not? Oh, no, it was only the version 1 PS3 that
our
did
PS3 will not play the PS2 games.
Mine did before I flogged it. The version 1 PS3, which actually still sells for more than the latest versions, had the compatibility to play PS2 games. But
yeah, it's fucking awesome. But we've got these awesome PS2 games that you brought around. But I had Super Mario Sunshine, and I just thought, you know what, I'm going to play Super Mario Sunshine. I'll put it on the list. We got a donation from Marty. Your name is fucking legit, by the way.
Holy crap.
That is the sexiest... I tell you what, I've never known a Canadian who has, like, a non-epic name.
And Ben as well. Do you say? Oh, Ben was a minute ago. Yeah.
Yeah, and Ben. Marty, that is a fucking awesome name. But maybe you got called McFly as a young girl. Thank
I
you very
cannot
much.
believe that man has just donated his hard-earned currency for you to insult him, dude.
Well, it's not going to insult.
There
It's going to go to a good cause.
There are people in Africa not being
Oh,
insulted.
don't do that. Let me get back to
There are
it.
people in
Don't do
Africa
it.
not being insulted, and you've just wasted one on that young
Don't.
man.
My head hurts. Don't do that. Thank you very much, Marty.
As you were. So yeah, streaming Friday.
Yeah, so I put Heavy Rain in there because people tell me it's amazing, then people tell me it's terrible. So it sounds like a Marmite kind of game. And Super Mario Sunshine, which I haven't finished yet, but I know I really kind of don't like. But I stuck it on there. I was like, who wants to watch me play Super Mario Sunshine? Every fucker voted for Super fucking Mario Sunshine. And I was like, you pieces of... God damn! Because I'm going to get angry on the stream. I can't help but get angry at this game because it drives me crazy.
It's that type of game platform.
This game fucking drives me crazy. So I booted it up at 8 AM and the fucking PVR wouldn't work for some reason. It took me ages to get it working, so I had some real first world problems. And I was kind of like, hey, if this doesn't work in the next 10 minutes, I can't play Super Mario Sunshine. Literally, I can't play it. Not that anybody would believe me, but I would be rest assured that I was trying for 40 minutes to get it booted up and working, and it wouldn't work. We'd streamed Luigi's Mansion the night before, or Sunday.
I saw that, yeah.
Yeah, with Emma. And it was fine, but it just wouldn't work. Anyway, as I was about to give up, fucking thing kicked in. Bastard. It totally worked. So I was like, okay, I'm going to play Mario Sunshine. It came through for me. I started getting really angry. I think I only did like 4 levels. Or 5. Maybe I got 5 or 6 stars in about an hour. And I did a level. I must have spent 30 lives on it. It was horrible. If you would have seen this level, it was fucking horrible. It was like a saw. It was like being in a saw trap. It was horrific. A flying sandbird that blows you off, and the camera's not your friend. It was just horrific. It was so bad. And it tilts completely sideways, and if you fuck that up, you just wipe. It was really annoying. And so I was doing this level over and over and over and over again, and I could feel myself getting really, really angry. And then the PVR started fucking up. And they were like, oh, it's all going stuttery. I was like, oh, no. Bioshock. So I turned on Bioshock anyway. It was a fucking quality moment. I got to play Bioshock. But I tell you what, it's a great game. The story is fantastic. Really get a feel for Rapture. Rapture's graphics, by the way, are amazing. The scene setting of Rapture is fucking wonderful. And the voice acting that goes into the enemies is fucking
the opening
second
scene's
to
good,
none.
isn't it, on the aeroplane? And then when
the opening scene and when you go down through Rapture with the whales and stuff, that is wonderful. Overall, amazing game. I wish I would have played it a couple of years ago, and I certainly wish I hadn't just finished Dead Space 3. There was just tweaks that are expected in probably, I think it's a 6-year-old game now, that you wouldn't care about 6 years ago, probably even 3 years ago. But I played a 2013 game, and that kind of just kept annoying me, because the gameplay in Dead Space 3 is really crisp, the story is dog shit, which is the complete alter version. Bioshock 1's story is amazing, and if I hadn't played Dead Space 3, the gameplay would have been fine. Dead Space 3 is the other way around. Fucking beautifully crisp gameplay. Story just gets lost in a world of please buy microtransactions. Which I almost made a video. I said to you I want to make a video about Dead Space 3 because I endorsed the Dead Space series. I told every one of you to, on multiple occasions, get Dead Space 1 and get Dead Space 2. They're fucking really good. Dead Space 3 is really a good game, but let down by such marginal things that it really annoyed me, and I had to put restrictions on it. Like, let me give you an example. You build your own weapons in Dead Space 3. It's a big part of the game. You construct anything you want. So from the frame to the add-ons to the underground item, you would fucking love it. Trust me.
I'm sold, man. I can't stand scary games, but
well, we talked. We want to do the PvG series in the future, which is where we'll take a subject and I'll do a video on it, like the top 5 videos. I'll do a video on it.
I want to talk about that as well.
Yeah, we'll talk. Well, we need to talk about off stream, really. But we want to do this contrast.
No, not what you want to do. I mean, like the whole top 5 thing.
Okay. So let's say Dead Space 3. I played it, you play it, and then we both did a video on it to see the contrasting views. You would love this system. But the system also ruins the game in a way. Because, let me explain this to you, okay? In Dead Space 3, about 3/4 of the way through it, I hadn't made a new weapon. Because I always loved, the first weapon you start with the game has the simplest idea behind it that is beautiful for fucking Dead Space. It's just, I forget what it's called, it's like the Ripper or something. But it's the very first...
you change the angle of?
All you do is you can change it from vertical to horizontal. Now, in Dead Space, you kill the enemies by chopping limbs off. There is nothing better in the fucking universe than going, oh, I can chop this leg off by turning it horizontal, or this thing's sideways and 0 gravity and I can shoot it vertically. Fucking Love it.
Cool. Yeah.
Absolutely beautiful weapon. And I always
Plasma cutter.
The plasma cutter. I upgrade the shit out of it every time, and it always is enough to finish the game. In Dead Space 1, I finished the game with it. I had every other weapon, but this was just better. That was it. In Dead Space 2, it was the same. In Dead Space 3, though, around about 3/4 of the way through, it really becomes noticeable that you even max upgraded to fuck, and I upgraded the shit out of my fucking plasma cutter. The mobs become very bullet spongy, so you're shooting them to shit. So I was like, I kind of need to make another weapon now. So I sat down. I'm going to make me a weapon because I had every resource in the game.
I was going to say, with 3/4 of the game's worth of
resources. I had everything you could get. Although you do tend to get a lot of shit near the end for the next playthrough. Dead Space 3 has a lot of replayability. Yeah. All the Dead Spaces do. I was ready to build a new weapon. I built a shotgun with repeater mod, which meant it fired like 3 times in a row. I also put on another mod, which meant it fired more rounds. This thing could empty 100 ammo, is a rarity, and will last you a good hour or 2 with picking up various shit. My shotgun emptied 100 ammo in 6 shots. But it would one-shot anything in the game. It was fucking retarded and absolutely spoiled the fucking game for me. I built this shotgun. All I had to do was point at the hardest enemies I went against, which are kind of like these big fucking
Goliath sort of things.
Like Goliath monster things. I mean, Dead Space 3 kind of loses its way a little bit at the end and just starts throwing endless mobs at you. And you know, when games do that, they kind of feel like you kind of lost what you wanted. Yeah, we need a bit of filler, so we're just going to throw a shitload of mobs at you, and they're like really hard mobs. We were doing this. All I had to do was point my shotgun at them and go, and it died, and it instantly died. It almost felt unfair, so I just stopped using it. I had to put restrictions on myself to stop trolling the game because I built this weapon, and I just banked it. I was like, I've had enough of it. I'm banking it. It's ruining the game for me. And I just went back to... I said, I don't care. I just thought to myself, I don't care if the bullet spongy. Using this weapon really fucks over the game for me. Like, actually fucked me over. So I didn't make anything really after that.
Oh.
It spoiled it because my first go at making a weapon made a weapon so powerful, it was retarded. It was absolutely ridiculous. But I couldn't believe it. I had never gone out of fucking mana, out of ammo throughout the whole game. Like, I'd been fine on ammo. To the point where I was actually thinking, man, ammo was a bit of a problem in Dead Space 1 and 2. You had to kind of manage quite nicely. In this, I just was never out of ammo. And I was kind of like, yeah, that's kind of missing element of the game. It's much more action-y.
Like, you want the Resident Evil sort of survival thing.
It's supposed to be a survival horror. Dead Space 3 isn't. It's not. It's much more action-y. There's some weapons like Mjolnir's in the game.
A hammer?
It's not a hammer, but it's like a mega hammer gun. There's about, I would say, at least pre-made something like 40 weapons that would have never appeared in Dead Space 1 or 2. Like, even the names, like the Thunder Cunt Blaster and shit's in there. Just these crazy fucking weapons that were but microtransactions allows buy the resources to make these weapons.
That's something that annoys
me. So it wasn't microtransactions directly that ruined the game. It was the whole feel of the survival horror thing seemed lost because they had all this array of weapons, which was super powerful and tempting to build, by the way. Because when you see things like Mjolnir, you're like, I don't want to buy that. But the microtransactions obviously lead to building all these kind of things. So it was kind of like, But I ended up making the one weapon. It was ridiculous. I never made another one. Spoil it for me, but as an old school Dead Space fan, I don't know whether I wasn't really the target for that, but I didn't like it. Dead Space wasn't about just crushing everything. It never was. It was about dangerous moments, and yeah, I didn't like that kind of aspect of it. Oh. Metal Gear Rising.
Before we do that,
right.
I'm going to have to break off for like 5 minutes because Ava's not well at the minute with chickenpox, and she's up and she's crying for me, so I'm really quickly going to FaceTime her.
Right.
So if you just Phil, apologies for that, guys. I'm just going to be 5 minutes.
Let's take a quick break so I can get a drink.
Right, okay.
Let's take a quick break and we'll be right back with more gamer talk, and then we'll have some chat Q&A.
I'm down for that.